Happy New Year's, everyone. Officially, we are in 2025. Oh my God, it's already a new year, and I can't believe it. But with a new year comes some new goals. Fresh new sketchbook. So today, I thought we could go through and maybe talk about my goals for the year and what I want to do while decorating a new sketchbook. Basically, I made this art goals bingo sheet, which is from a creator over on TikTok. I'll put their handle right here, and there'll be a link down below to their TikTok. But I loved this idea. When I saw it on TikTok and Instagram, I'm like, that's a great idea. Instead of doing a big, intimidating list, let's do a bingo card. So basically, how my bingo card works is all of my red ones are my top priorities for the year, and I tried to put 2 per each row so then I can try to aim for bingos with them. And then all the blue ones are things that I really want to get done for the year overall. So here in my office, also right under where the bingo card is going to be hung, I actually put some, rewards for getting bingos or blacking out the whole sheet. So we're going to see at the end of this year, we're going to see how far I get. I'll do one more video at the end of 2025 so we can look through this and see what I accomplished, but I'm hoping for a blackout. Anyway, let's start decorating the sketchbook, and I'll talk you through a couple of the ones that I have listed on my sheet while we look at some stickers to put on here. So I ended up moving all of my random miscellaneous floating around stickers to one of these sticker books. They're amazing. I'll put the artist for this one as well. I bought it at a Zine Fest recently, and I was like, I need this so badly so I can just look through this instead of sorting through a huge pile of stickers. So yeah, let's get this off. Thank you, Illo, for the wonderful sketchbook. If you want to sponsor me, I love your guys' books. So with that, let's get started and just flip through some stickers. I don't have the handles for everyone's art that is on stickers. I unfortunately did not keep business cards, but I will try my best to plug them when I know them. I've gone to so many Comic-Cons and gotten way too many stickers that there's just too many to decide. So yeah, basically one of my big goals that you'll see multiple times on my goal page is trying to get more of Fox Among Hounds done. I really want to get further in my comic and further along in general, just because that's one of the big whole points of me getting into art full time was so that I'd have time to do the comic. So I have it in a couple of different places on my to-do list. My handwriting is atrocious, so hopefully this turns out okay. 2025 challenge and practice, because this year we're going to try to challenge ourselves and do a lot of different practice that I'm not used to. Lots of studies, lots of anatomy, all the things. Because yeah, that's also on my goal sheet, is to study and practice all the different anatomy that I can think of or try, I just want to improve overall as an artist. So yeah, a lot of my top goals are working on either my comic or improving my skills as an artist in general. And, just trying to expand my art in general and becoming a better artist. Well, that's there now. Didn't want it to overlap too much, but oh well, too late. There's a few other big steps I want to do for my goals as well. I want to take another art class. I think I'll do something online this time instead of in person. I want to, make a plushie design because I've been wanting to make one for a while of Cthulhu or some other fun and cool plushie. And then, yeah, like I said, for this sketchbook is I really want it to be, a great place to practice and get back into doing traditional art, because I don't really do it that much anymore. Here and there, I'll do little doodles and sketches on different random pieces of paper or different things, but I tend to not really get really into a sketchbook, and I usually don't even finish it. So the goal this year is to finish this whole thing. This is also really hard to decide what stickers go on here. It's I've gotten better about, I guess, the sticker worry or anxiety. That's it, sticker anxiety. Because I used to just not want to put a sticker on something because I'm what if I lose it? Or what if I don't like where I put it? I'm basically just hoarding these for potentially not even using them, you know what I mean? They might just sit in this booklet forever if I don't do anything with them. So that's kind of my mentality on it now, is no, I should really use them. And if anything, I can buy them again from an artist if I really feel I need another copy of the sticker or something. Except I kind of want to put Harrow with Gideon. Didn't think that part through. Maybe she can fit. She can't fit. Should have thought this through a little more. I'll probably put her on the back. I think another thing that I really want to improve in is like pushing myself outside of my comfort zone. I tend to stick to it pretty closely. I've been trying different and new things in terms of like, I don't know, different creature designs or using animals that I'm not as comfortable with, but I feel I'm not really pushing myself to the full extent that I could. For example, I don't push my paintings as much because like I do but don't like doing big renders. It's like a love-hate relationship. Like I usually love how they turn out in the end, but I hate doing them. And I think that's just a skill issue. I feel I don't like them just because I'm so critical of it and my skills are not where I want them to be with bigger rendered pieces or like highly detailed artwork. So I want to try to break myself out of that fear and like really push myself to try to do it, you know, like actually give myself the space to, you know, try to improve my skills and not beat myself up for it or anything. So I'm hoping this year is a big year for growth, especially because I get to do this full time now. And it's really freaking cool that this actually happened. Like I never thought I was going to be able to go totally full time with my artwork. So it's a very pleasant and nice surprise that I get to do a whole year of like trying to do my comic or trying to improve myself. I know I'm very fortunate and lucky to be able to do this, so I really want to make the most of it and bring you guys along for the journey because, it's going to be a journey. It's going to be a lot of work, but I think it will really be worth it in the end. It's really giving hard badass Gideon with some nice little pink around her. I have these little tiny Pokemon ones too that I totally forgot about. I feel this bingo card checklist, it's like striking up a nice balance for me of putting enough pressure on me that I really want to accomplish it and pull it off and like actually, you know, pull something off for the year. I think what's nice is this like bingo card is, I don't know, it's like enough responsibility that it's giving me a little bit of pressure to try to finish it, especially making this video and you guys are going to hold me accountable. It's giving me a little bit of that, but it's also like more exciting than like feeling like a huge list that I'll never accomplish. I feel I've never been great with the New Year's resolution lists, and I think this is just going to be a much more fun way to try to make my goals happen, because this is a really exciting year. I think I've already said this a million times, but doing this full time is going to be crazy. Like, it's still hard for me to fathom that I'm still not on like vacation from a day job, you know? And I think that's the weirdest thing to get over is like, I get to do this for a full year and try to make it work and expand my Comic-Cons and like just overall do more with my year and do more art. And I'm just so excited. It's going to be so cool. It is a little intimidating going into this year with trying to start my own business, with how the world is, how the economy's looking, you know, there's a lot of factors, but I think it will be more rewarding than anything to be able to try this and say I did it. And one thing I've been working through with my therapist is like knowing that it's not the end all be all. Like, I'm allowed to try it, and if I need to, I can go back to the workforce. It's not going to be the end of the world, but it's still a little bit intimidating going into it, just not knowing how well it's going to go, you know? So yeah, even with like things being intimidating and I'm a little worried about how this year's going to go and how this adjustment's going to be, because I'm trying to avoid burning myself out, you know? I'm trying to be good about balancing things, but also trying to achieve my goals, because I want to work really hard for the year and really see what I can pull off within a year time span and see if I can really rock it, you know? So I realized at this point of the process, it is very hard to talk about goals while trying to concentrate on sticking stickers. Like, I'm pretty good at multitasking, but I was struggling. Now I know why, like, gaming YouTubers can miss things pretty easily in games while, like, narrating to people. Because it's like, I don't know, it's very hard to multitask and, like, concentrate on a thing. So I just decided to do this last little bit in voiceover and fill out a couple more stickers on the back. I was originally not going to do the back, but then I decided I wanted Harrow on the same sketchbook as Gideon. So, you know, it is what it is. And I think it turns out really cute. It was really hard to pick where everything goes, but I'm just trying to live more of like, let me enjoy the thing and it doesn't have to be perfect. Like, I've been trying to get out of the perfectionist mentality, which has been a little hard, but you know, it's part of the process. It's part of growing. But I think entering my 33rd year of life, I think I'm a little over being too perfectionist about things. So there we go. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm going to keep an eye out for maybe some small stickers this year while I'm around at comic conventions to maybe fill a few of those little tiny slots on the back. But I like how these turned out. It kind of puts a lot of my current obsessions on a sketchbook. It's like a little time capsule per stickers, you know? So I thought after doing all of this, we'd go ahead and try to accomplish one of the things on my bingo card. And we're going to fill out a full spread, like basically the first full spread. Wow, that was a tongue twister, of this sketchbook. And I wanted to do one of my studies. I want to make sure to do studies every week, whether that's like anatomy or hands or feet or all the different things that I struggle with. I'm like, I really want to get better at them. And the only way to get better at them is to actually draw them and practice them. So after writing my little intro page to myself and, you know, notating, this is my first year going full time, because this is going to be fun to look back at no matter which outcome it becomes, you know, we opened it up and we're going to start our first spread. So the mentality I have going into these is basically I'm going to be doing a study of some sort, but then applying it to my characters as well. So for this one, I did a hand study, but I wanted to have my characters like doing something with their hands because that makes it more fun for me. If I apply it to my characters or people in my universe, it instantly becomes like a way more fun activity. So for these studies, I've been purchasing a couple of different art tip collection books or anatomy books, and I'm going to kind of go through quite a few of the different books and see what skills I can pick up from there, because there's a lot of artists I follow online who are very skilled and have made some really, really cool books. So today I'm doing the Art Tips Collection book from Muley. I'm sorry if I butchered your username, but I really love their approach to breaking down the structure of everything. Their anatomy tips and book overall is really great. And there's a lot of really great, like, written advice on how to handle, like, for example, just like deconstructing the hand and how the certain parts of the limb interact, or like how knuckle definition should be. So I read through this section of the collections number 2. I have number 1 as well, but I haven't read through that one yet. But I read through the advice and tried to do basically a breakdown of the hand similar to how they did in the book. And that's like kind of basically making a kind of like a long triangle for where the thumb connects to the hand, and then breaking down from there how like the palm and the fingers connect. So I followed their advice and I went through and did like some of the references that they drew and tried to break it down in the same way that they drew it in their book. So just to give you context of like where these different hands are coming from. So after I did a full page of studying what was in the book, I was like, all right, let's try to apply what I learned to drawing a couple hands from imagination. So I'm going to try to use reference a lot more when I'm doing like harder hand poses. So this one was kind of a combo of reference plus imagination. But I was basically doing the pose of the character from my head and then referencing a hand if I needed it. But I was going between breaking it down in the way that I learned it and then referencing a picture that I have of a hand. And this helped a lot with me kind of visualizing and applying what I learned. Because like I said earlier, as soon as it gets applied to a character or something, it's a lot more fun because I get it. It can be kind of boring and it's not as amazing to watch me draw like 12 hands on a piece of paper. But it is a really fun way to extract what I learned from that and then apply it to the characters. So the first one I did was Hassan. He is a mentor to Aina in my book. He's kind of like a magic user, a little bit of an older guy. And so I kind of wish I made his hands a little more, I guess, old-ish looking. But I still think it was a good start for at least just a rough sketch. And then the second one, I saw this picture in the Art Tips collection book of like these hands flexing, like doing a nice stretch with the arms. And I'm like, I really want to try that for Aina. And I just pictured her finishing working the forges and working on some blacksmithing and then just getting a nice stretch after a long day of work. And I thought that would just fit perfectly for her. So I knew I wanted to apply that more stretching pose to her and just, I don't know. It's again like giving characters personality through what they're doing. Like I feel Hassan is kind of like giving advice to Aina in like how his pose is and how his hand is out, like trying to explain maybe some ways that she could use magic or some advice for her. And then this one for Aina is just like her after a long day of hard work because she's like, she does a lot of physical labor and I wanted to show like that, like, oh, after a good day's work, a nice good stretch, you know? And then after I finished these character studies, I was thinking to myself, I also want to try different types of hands because for Hassan's, I didn't really make him look too old. So I tried this really thin old hand. I think it's a little too thin for Hassan. I need to find an in-between ground of like kind of close to that, but also not as emaciated. And then I was like, oh, it'd be kind of cool to do Aina's hand because she has kind of smaller hands overall, and they would be very like thick and sturdy and strong and probably have some type of scarring and maybe burns through like all the work that she's done over time. So yeah, that's basically what I did. I did those 2 different hand studies and then decided to fill the rest of the page with more hand studies because I was thinking about doing this whole page with characters, but I'm like, I can't fit anymore, especially to highlight the hands. So I'm like, I might as well just do a couple more hand studies. So there we have it, the first full spread of our new 2025 sketchbook. I think these turned out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with them. I'm going to try to do a couple spreads, maybe with like some photo reference instead of like mostly from the book reference, and just see if I can like, I don't know, deconstruct the hands even better. So for our art goal bingo, I'm actually going to make these anatomy squares a little bit more of a challenge for the year. Basically, I could count this as like done, you know, per my bingo sheet. But I think what I'll do for these anatomy studies is divide these into quarters. So every time I do a 2-page spread, it counts for a quarter of my anatomy practice bingos. So we're going to make it a little bit harder, a little bit more of a challenge to finish each square that has to do with like studying something or practicing some type of anatomy. So yeah, it should really add a lot more skill to my bank. And it's also a way for me to like not cheap out on trying to finish this bingo card, you know? So thank you guys so much for stopping by and checking out this video. A quick shout out to my patrons. Thank you so much for your support. If you guys would like to get this month's mail club, we have a whole new set of prints and stickers and goodies. Go check out my Patreon. And I'm excited to kind of grow with you guys this year and see where this year goes overall. So I appreciate your guys' support, and I'll see you all next time. Bye, everybody.